Bonjour les élèves. Today's video is starting the school unit. So in your notebook, you're going to want to turn to page 18. That is where it starts, page 18. So les objets de la classe, français 8, objects in the class, and your note page starts with l'école, school. We're going to start with the masculine ones. Remember, all nouns are either masculine or feminine. A lot of times it will help you because they will end in an E if they're feminine. Not always, but I'd say 80% of the time. So when in doubt, go back to that rule. If it ends in an E, it's probably feminine. It's a little bit easier to remember the ones that don't follow that rule than it is to try to memorize all of them and what they are. So looking at the masculine words on page 18, we have le crayon, the pencil, le crayon. Make sure you are filling these out in your notebook. Pause the video if you need more time to write. And a pen, le stylo. So le stylo is a pen, where we get the word stylus. Le livre is a book. So un livre or le livre. Remember, your article is interchangeable. You can say le for the or the nothing, like this, the null, or you could use un, which would be saying a book or the book or just book. So the important word is livre. So that's book. A notebook is le cahier. That is a notebook. If you really want to be very specific on the notebook, you can have, there are different types. Cahier just kind of covers it. For example, if you want to say binder, you could say un classeur. You may want to add that one to your notes because that's not in your notes, but that is the word for a binder. But a cahier is anywhere you take your notes. Could be a spiral notebook. It could be in a folder. It could be in a binder. It's just kind of the generic words, cahier. Okay, a computer, an ordinateur, a teacher's desk or an office, un bureau, can be used for either one. It's like the type of desks you'll see in an office, or the word office, where we get the word FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Okay, a tableau is a board. It could be a chalkboard, could be a whiteboard, could be a smartboard. So le tableau, any of those kind. Where we get the word tablet from, something you write on. So un tableau. Tape, le ruban. They also use that word for ribbon, and it kind of looks like ribbon when you think about it when you look at the tape dispenser. Homework, les devoirs. It is always plural, always. Un drapeau is a flag, le drapeau. A male student, un élève or un étudiant. They're interchangeable. You can use either one. When I say bonjour les élèves, this is the word I'm using, but I use it in the plural, students. A high school, un lycée. Remember, pause the video if you need more time to write. A middle school, don't get confused, un collège. We are the only ones that use that word college to mean something else, but un collège is a middle school. A backpack, you had a project with that last year, un sac à dos. Sac à dos. Bag of the back. Dos means back. Les ciseaux, scissors. Les ciseaux. Correct your notes. On page 18, I noticed there's a typo of 2 S's in ciseaux. There's only 1 S. Cross one out. Okay, and les marqueurs can be les marqueurs, les feutres, both mean marker. You may want to add the word feutre to your notes underneath the word marker. It all depends on what they like to use and where you are. I'll be honest, most of the time I will use les feutres. Okay, page 19. Oh, nope, sorry, I take that back. I want you to add a few more on page 18. Underneath les marqueurs et les feutres, we're going to add the pencil sharpener. Un taille crayon. Un taille crayon. So we have to spell that one out in French there, and there is the English. You have that labeled in our classroom, but I think you had it in your notes last year, but you don't have them in this year's notes, so probably need it there. A paperclip is another one we're going to add. Un trombone. Looks like the sliding thing on a trombone, and that's where the word comes from. So add that one. Okay, feminine ones on page 19. So the first one, a student's desk, un pupitre. Like the word pupil, where we get the word pupil from, which is another word for student. A ruler, une règle. Pretty similar. A table, une table. Table. A chair, une chaise. We use the word in English. A chaise lounge. It's actually chaise. So une chaise, chair. Une télé, a TV. So la télé, TV. Une télé, a TV. Une carte, a map, where we get the word cartographer that you hear in social studies. That's a guy who makes maps. Cartography is the study of making maps. All comes from the same word, and you will hear those words in social studies if you haven't already. A door, une porte. A window, une fenêtre. A stapler, une agrafeuse. Une agrafeuse. A staple on its own, just take away the ending. It's agraf is a staple. Agrafeuse is the stapler. A piece of paper, une feuille de papier. If you want to say just paper in general, like, oh, gee, I need paper, not just one slice, you could say le papier right here, and then it becomes masculine. But une feuille de papier is really saying a leaf of paper. The word feuille means leaf. Female student, une élève or une étudiante, almost the same as the male, just add your e's. Un gomme, an eraser. Un gomme. That was like a gummy eraser. Chalk, la craie. La craie is chalk. A trash can, une poubelle. Une poubelle. There's a few other words too. Une corbeille is also used, but poubelle is probably more common. Not a poubelle. Un horloge is a clock. So un horloge. And then the last one in the feminine there is glue, la colle. La colle. And add these next following words on the feminine side. Calculator, une calculatrice. Pause the video if you need to. A male teacher, le professeur or le prof. Now remember, if you need to say a female teacher, it would be la professeur and la prof. I realize the last one was masculine, but this is a feminine one too. If you want to put the masculine one on the other side, go ahead. Doesn't make a difference, as long as you have the words in your notes. Okay, au revoir. Now you have all your stuff. Hopefully your notes are filled out and you can start doing some of the activities. Au revoir.